Okay, just in case some of you are wondering what a nice gray day in Laguna Beach looks like, this is the, I don't know, we're in April, middle of April, somewhere in there. Anyway, today is the, today someone needs to fix their brakes over there. Okay, so today's World Art Day. I don't know what that means. But the Laguna Plein Air Painters is having a painting thing down here at Heisler Park, but they wanted $10, so I'm down here with the Eric Newbert Fine Art Painting Day. We don't charge $10, we just make you tell a funny story. Other than that, that's about it, man. So I don't see anyone else here, but I'm also here kind of early. Also, the grayness is probably gonna get some people to not show up. But I think this is the scene I'm going to paint. Alright, so that down there is called Split Rock. And usually there's an outlook over there that everyone always goes to. It's a nice painting area, but I think I'm going to paint here because the other scene is just, overdone. So this is going to be the scene we're going to paint. In case you're... That is the rock, waves, got our beach here. Trees, little something else over there. It's a classic scene, you know. This is I mean, some people put in the path, some have this and that in. There's a flagpole. You want to put that in. I really think this might be the scene. I'm gonna walk around just a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Because I mean, when you're here at Heisler Park, you know, you can't overthink it. It's just there's so much to see. Like anywhere beautiful, there's a lot to see, and you just gotta kind of see what you want to see and do what you want to do. But I don't know. All right, so I think this is the scene we're gonna do. It's still the Split Rock. We also have this kind of cool little rock stuff here. So it's the scene's gonna just this will be an interesting challenge to get this scene to look just right. Now, being so gray. And foggy and everything, the colors are going to be really saturated, believe it or not, and we're going to leave out a lot of speculative highlights. So a lot of the white that you normally put into put highlights and everything, it's going to be gone. Now I am next to a tree to kind of block the wind, so I'm doing a great job. And I don't have any dead homeless people next to me, so I think we're okay. Okay, so this is the scene that I've more or less chosen to do. There's a tree there that we're going to not paint in there. There was another artist down there. I don't know what happened to them. Anyway, so here we have this kind of neat area right down in here. Wait, hold on. Yeah, this area right in here. And then the goes out, and then we have this rock out there. We're going to leave the rail out of it. Okay, so this is kind of our design. So obviously cut that in. Okay, and then the birds. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can do this. We're all set up. We have our white, yellow, blue, red. And I've got some yellow ochre, sap green, and some burnt umber. Okay, those are just little helper colors that we're going to use to try and make this all work right. Alright. Gonna get the right brush. Alright, this blue, I didn't scrape it, but it was like kind of left over, and it's maybe I should scrape it, I don't know. Just a little bit of white. I'm just making a, see how blue that is? That's really blue. I don't want that blue, guys. We're gonna put in a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red. There we go. That's looking more like the color I want to start this base painting with. Alright, because this is we're doing the drawing part. Composition. Setting up our composition drawing. And so you just want to have it be something a little more neutral into your painting. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and set this up so it's not... there you go. Got to have your canvas set up right so that it... not painting at an angle. Okay, let's do a painting here. Looking out over here. Tilt your head back. take a picture in your head, clear your mind. When you're all set, let's paint. Nice and thin, nice and thin. Let's see, got some bigger rocks over here. So then here's our middle part. So we're going to make sure essentially the big rock, split rock, goes up into this area here. I'm going to put a little more blue in there just to make sure y'all know it's knocked back a little bit. A little blue, a little white. Now of course, since it's knocked back quite a bit, it's going to have a lot less texture and detail than these foreground rocks. And then the horizon is just going to be like because like the water's like up to here if you look at the horizon from where we are, but I'm just going to, because it's so gray, it's going to be pretty delineated and like really blurred in there, I think, you know. That's just a placeholder. Let's just go put a few more of these little rocks that kind of peek out and go, and everything else. Alright, so now let's go ahead and, so here's our drawing, okay? So this is the drawing that we have. It's our composition. Do we like it? Yay, nay? I mean, it's different in my head than it is on the screen, but let's see what we got. So now let's go ahead and put in our some of the darks here. So we're going to use blue, the red, the yellow. This is going to be our darkest darks, and we're going to keep it nice and thin. Okay. And the ones up front are going to have just a little more red in it. Okay, so now we're going to do some of these lower rocks here. This is a slight detour in that we're going to do not only our, still add in basically the drawing, but the, I guess you can call it the contrasting part. This is the, as we start to lay in some stuff. You know what, this is the wrong brush. Okay. Hey, how are you? these are darks. Usually you do your mid-tone darks, but usually in this water, because what happens is the water gives it the illusion that everything's wet and it's darker like that, but you know, you just gotta kind of play with it a little bit. So I tell you, man, this water will come and recede on you, and by the time you know what you're doing, or you think you know what you're doing, like, the whole scene's changed, because the tide comes and the tide goes. That's it. Alright, here's where this yellow ochre is going to come into play. Yellow ochre is my go-to sand color, okay? It really is. And we're just doing our overall tonality of what we want this tonality to be. And I want it to just be a little bit lighter, guys. A little bit lighter. Keep it nice and thin now. Because then, once we have this overall tonality, we can go back in with some details and, you know, some more fun brush strokes that kind of define it all out. But until then, we just want to kind of give it the overall gist, if you will, in terms of color and value. A little bit of that, and then we're going to do a lot of that as this kind of recedes off into the old yonder there. Pick up some of that blue into it. Okay. So you got the wet sand, you got the not as wet sand. The water's going to come, and we're going to dig the water back into it. So we're just looking for overall tonality and value, and I think this needs to come up just a little right here. And also, I gotta be honest, I'm not really jazzed about this brush selection. I gotta be honest with you, it's a little too smooth for me. It's a little too smooth. I mean, that was the idea because you got all the smooth sand, but I kind of like the bristly. Remember, brushes just, you know, create. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice. Are you painting like that bit?
I am. I'm painting all that down there. The rocks, the water, all the fun stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm painting. There's a rock out there.
Is it me, or is that the whole sea and then the sea's right there?
That's the whole sea out there.
Yeah. The white bit should be blue and the blue bit should be white.
Yeah.
And why are you doing the white background and the blue right?
Well, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but we're getting there.
So you're doing layers?
Huh?
Doing layers?
Yeah, kind of. You know.
Are you?
Bye. Oh, that was pretty cute, guys. That was cute. Alright, let's go ahead and scrape this rock in here. Again, we're putting no detail in here. Okay, there's no detail. I like this brush too. I like how this brush gives me just a bit more texture to it, you know? This is a little scrapey, scratchy one. Gives me just a little more texture that I like. Again, we're not really drawing this positive shape in here correctly, because this will be, we'll pull details in after we put the ocean in to define as the negative shape to pull out the positive shape. Alright, so you guys get all that? Alright, let's... Alright, so this... a little bit of this, just mixing in a little bit of blue. Trying to find just some of these shapes back here. And one thing about painting, you know, rock scenes and ocean and whatever, the water changes like quite a bit. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, if you're paying attention, it does. But the whole point is, you really just don't want to get too caught up in a shape of a rock, because the water is always beating against it, and it's always changing it, and then the waves and this and that, whatever. And of course, when the sun, if the sun did come out, I mean, the sun will move it, and the shape of the rock will change a lot, as in, you know, where the highlights are coming out and everything, and it just changes it so much that there's, you're like, wait a second, that boulder, that outcropping wasn't there before, and like, oh, but it was. So at least on a gray day, you don't have to worry about the sun changing you that much. Let's down into that. You'll see how that works in a second here. Alright, so we're going to come forward with some of these rocks. Just kind of keep working our rocks and our seashells by the seashore here. A little blue, a little brown, keeping it very thin. And building on our composition. There's some other darker areas that we're going to come in with. This is kind of the top of the rocks, if you will. I want to think of it like that. And we're putting in the whole shape, and what we're going to do on this is we're going to use all this sand to build back into the rocks, to define this whole rocky area a little bit more. But keep in mind, you know, this part is just building up some texture, and so as we're getting closer to our viewer here, we're going to put in a little more texture here. A little more texture. A little more texture. A little more warmth. A little more texture as it gets up close. Alright, so we're going to come in with some more or less darker stuff, if you will. That was a fun and interesting conversation. I had Tony Kellenberg, the, I don't know what her official title is, but president of Laguna Plein Air Painters. She's a super nice lady. Super nice lady. Yeah, they're just trying to grow their membership and all this stuff. So if you ever, you know, want to, the Laguna Plein Air Painters, it's as we all call it here. There's the Southern California Plein Air Painters. And then, and they're like the smaller, friendlier, more amateur type group, whereas La Papa is more of a professional group. And so, you know, if you're an artist who wants to, you know, get a little more professional, whatever, in your work, La Papa is a pretty good organization. They put in, you know, if you get into it. I mean, Jesus, you know. But if you get into it, their invitationals, it's usually in what, October or somewhere in there. The Invitational is like a huge show. I mean, it's like just a big show you gotta get into. I've been in it 2 or 3 times, and you know, did I sell? I think I've sold a couple, but anyway, is what it is you know, it's a huge show. They sell a lot. They make a lot of money on it and all that good stuff. And getting into it is like a really big, prestigious honor. So, you know, check them out. It's lapapa.org, just so you know. It's lapapa.org. Hey, thank you. So it's lapapa.org. And, yeah, you know, I've been with La Papa since early 2000s, somewhere in there. The sad part is I'm not entirely sure I've paid my dues, so, you know, anyway. But I need to pay my dues for that. Alright, so we're just putting in some of the rocks and the detritus and the stuff that shows up when the seashore comes and the seashore goes. That's the other thing, is if you're not, you know, used to how this works, is what happens is when the tide comes and tide goes, the beach changes. So like if you come here tomorrow at the same time, you're going to have a different beach down there. Just in case you're wondering. Alright, so I'm just going to keep putting in some texture in this area, and then, you know, as we go back, the texture kind of disappears and it becomes more, you know, you take all that texture out. Because we just want to simplify it as it goes back in the distance. Simplify, simplify. Okay, so now, let's clean the old brush off here. Okay, so now we want to try and get a lot of that, you know, there's water on it. It has the light reflection from the light and everything. And then you also have the seashore. You get the sand, and then the sand that is like wet sand, and then it goes into the water. So we're going to do the wet sand, and it's like a light blue, okay? Just follow along. So it's this, you know, this and that. You put in just a hint of blue, okay? So you get this hint of blue. Alright. And now, just like everything else, it's not so much for putting that, we're just putting in the texture of it, okay? Just want to put in some of this texture. So anyway, La Papa does a bunch of other shows throughout the year. You know, if you use Online Church Shows, they run all their events through Online Church Shows, so you check there. That's what I do. California Art Club does too. If you want to just keep an eye on Online Church Shows. A lot of pastel people do. So if you're a pastel person, check Online Church Shows. Oil Painters American needs to start using Online Church Shows, though, that's for sure. Remember, just creating texture, not painting that water in there. We're just creating texture of it. This paint is a little bit thicker. Anyway, they do a lot of shows, and we need to enter more shows. I'll say one thing though, after trying to get back into being an artist full time, it did take a while for me to kind of get my painting chops back. I mean, because I was like, oh, I was still painting and everything and whatever, I was trying to keep it at it, but it really just didn't stick as well as I'd hoped to when I finally got back into painting. And so, you know, it took about, I'd say a good 2 years to really get back into where I was painting really good. So, you know, if you're trying to get back into it, or you're just starting out, or maybe whatever, just don't be discouraged, because it does take a while to get back into it. You know, it's a painting like, you should be painting like, if you're a pro and everything, I'd say if you're painting at least like probably at least twice a week, twice a week. You know, like really sitting in the studio painting and everything, or outside going out painting and everything. A good couple times a week would do you good. Because on one hand, you don't want to get burned out. On the other hand, you keep going. Alright, I'll try and do some of this wet sand up in here, folks. Wind it right up in there as it comes around here. And that's going to go right into the ocean there. You know, also when you're painting out here, if you're down like on the beach down there, really important to watch the tides, because you could be swimming before you know it. Really important to watch the tides. Alright, so then, now I always use sap green, and you'll see why. But you know, you gotta get as the wave comes up, it gets dark, and you get the white water crashing on top. And so you just kind of take a picture in your mind of where you want to actually paint in at what point the waves coming in. You know, you got the waves crashing over here. You see them coming in over there. You'll see how it crashes against the rocks here, crashes against the rocks there. As it comes up, swirls, and also waves come in sets. Okay, so like you have a bunch of waves coming in, and then it calms down, and that's called a set. If you're a surfer, you know this stuff. So I'm going to do that, and here's my sap green. Okay, so there's the sap green, but you know what? It gets really thick, so let's keep it a little bit thin. Let's keep it nice and thin here. Seafoam green. I'm going to start up in this area right here. So now we're going to kind of draw this, you know, here's our defining the positive shapes of the rock by drawing in the negative space. I'm going to be a little careful, I guess. Here's the thing, is when you get here, this is going to be like a lot of texture here. It's really kind of cool how it all. Hey, how are you?
Good. I'll give you one of my little.
Oh, here, have your little card. Your little business card? Oh, do I get a pin?
Thank you token.
Oh my gosh, I get a pin.
Oops, pull on it. It's got stuck
Oh,
there.
there you go. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this looks cool. Oh, I love this color.
Oh, yeah,
combination in
right.
there. Wow, that's
Hey.
really cool.
I know, right? Yeah.
Well, good luck. Oh, that's
I'm
interesting.
doing this.
Oh. All right.
All right. See ya. All right. Well, that was Tony Kellenberg. Like I said, the president of La Papa. She liked it, so hey, if she liked it, then hey, hot dog, huh? Now, keep in mind, I have applied for signature membership twice, and I did not get in twice. And I looked at the scores, which I don't know how to do that or not, but whatever. And I was like 1 point away, like one point. But like John Stern, if you guys know who that guy is, he hates my work, and he's one of the judges, and he gave me the lowest score. And so I was like, well, the hell if I'm applying for signature member again, because I didn't feel too good. I mean, like, I don't know. It just didn't feel great. Getting denied twice by the same guy twice. And I was like, maybe if he doesn't jury or judge it anymore, then maybe I'll apply again. But until then, fuck, it'll save my life. Alright, so again, we're just doing a lot of texture here. We're going to come back in with our white, and I'll show you what we do with the white there to put in that, the crashing waves and everything. But here it's just, even though in the water, you're not really going to have a lot of variation in terms of the, it goes off in the distance. You get kind of like the seafoam green, and it goes into like a, I don't know, like dark steel gray or something. And so it's that underlying color that we're putting in here, just the underlying texture, if you will. And then we'll come back in with the white, and we will put in the fun waves. A little bit of blue, white, just a hint of our green. Just a fleck of red, just to keep it.
They're just tempting me so bad.
Because we want that steel gray. Got the steel gray coming in here.
May I take a picture?
Mm-hmm. Please do.
Wow, I like your color.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Well,
How to make this color? The gray and the white.
that's it.
Oh, so
Not a lot of different colors here. Just I've got yellow, red, blue, yellow ochre,
you put
green.
red too?
Yeah, there's a little bit of red. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, peacefulness is my middle name in painting. Doing peace is how I like to paint it.
Okay, good. This color is my color. I like that color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
That's all you're painting, right?
oil. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this is oil. As we get a little bit closer, we're going to richen it up just a little. Just a little more.
Like a magic. I cannot make this color.
So there we go. See how we just richened it up just a little more. So that's what we put right in here.
You have skill, create the color.
Yeah. Let's kind of work it back up in there, and then so here's this color. Then we got the rest of the rocks as it goes past us.
So how long you painting?
Oh, a long time.
Long time.
Long time, yeah. Like, I don't know, 20, 30 years.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
yeah, I've been painting for a while. So you got red and blue and yellow make what color?
So I learned, go to the San Diego College,
Uh-huh.
and draw the ocean, the wave.
Yeah?
Drive me crazy. But I love it. I cannot make a color like yours.
Oh, well, takes years of practice, I guess, you know? It's years and years of practice, I guess.
Beautiful.
And being colorblind.
Okay.
Okay, you too. Have a good day.
So you stay here whole day?
Well, until my parking meter,
Oh.
you know, I think I got 2 more hours.
So you finish one picture?
Yeah, I'll finish this one. Yeah, I'll finish it here in about, probably about an hour I'll finish. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So, you know, again, you know, here she was, oh, your color this and that, your color that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure because everyone always tells me our colors are off, and it's because I'm colorblind, but don't tell anyone. But I am colorblind, red green colorblind, pretty bad too. Like there's different degrees of it, and I'm like, it's pretty bad. Anyway, so that's why I have developed my color theory so strongly. You know, I mean, like, color theory to me is, that's what I do. And I think a lot of people put out a bazillion colors thinking that's what you need to do, you know, to get, you know, all these, you know, warm, cool colors of different colors, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter is, you don't. And I think a lot of people kind of overthink that with their colors and just not, you know, really get into color theory, which is what I'm really all about. And I'm all about the color theory because I'm colorblind. There's like no way I could match colors. That's one way of putting it. Is I couldn't match colors for nothing. Like, you know, especially like if I do a painting from a photograph, I always make sure that photograph is, you know, just black and white, as you see in some of my other videos. Go check them out. And the reason is because, well, because if you take a picture with your phone and then you print it out on your color printer, that color is so gonzo off, it's not even funny. I mean, it's like, it is so, don't even bother with trying to match it. It's bad. I think I even did a demo, or I did something where I basically showed the difference of it. But again, it's more science and the hows and whys of that. But you never trust the photograph or your computer screen or any of that stuff. And that's why, of course, you do color studies. You know, a lot of people say you do color studies out here, and then you go back in your studio and you use your color study to get your colors and your color notes and blah, blah, blah. And because what you see out here is going to be the correct thing. What you see on the screen is not. And it has to do with something called gamut. In the way your eyes see the color versus what the computer, the screen, all that is very limited in its gamut compared to what your eyes can see. All right. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to really go white here, and this is really thick. Okay, it's really thick white, and we're going to start going up here into our into the sky here. And since it's really foggy, but it's delineated out there. I mean, it's pretty stark, but we're going to obfuscate it a little. Blur it out a little here. Okay, now that we got all that up there, okay, then we're going to bring this down into our this is probably where I need to get the other brush. I'm going to put just a hint of yellow on it, just to warm it up, just a titch, guys. Just a happy little titchy color of white. And that titchy color white is going to be... And the water always gets really foamy, right? See, it always gets foamy like right under the rocks where it crashed against the rocks. You always get a little bit of foamy stuff there. Load our brush up nice and good. So, speaking of which, Patreon. Like I said in some of my other videos, I'm not, unless your work is hanging in the super duper gallery of everything awesome art and everything, means like you've really done something. I don't like that at all, by the way. I'm not, yeah, that's a solid plug for the Patreon, but basically, the Patreon I want to do is where it's not just like, oh, something like see the videos. It's like, you know, help you in your artistic career, your artistic journey, and all that stuff, and we do it together and really help you out if you're someone who wants to learn how to paint. And it's like super cheap, like I'm just gonna do like $5 a month, you know, and you know, then we can Zoom, we could talk, we could, you know, do stuff on the computer, or if you live close, we could hang out, you know, whatever it takes to help you out being a better artist. And it helps me out because hello. Oh, how are you? And so that's kind of my plan with the Patreon, because like if you're going to do a Patreon, like actually pay money, you should get something more than just like, oh, here's a different video, the same video, that's the video that you just watched. You know, it's like, no, there's got to be a lot more to it than that. So anyway, check out the Patreon. It's Patreon, Steve McGyver. It's Eric Newert Fine Art. And oh, what the heck just happened there, guys? What happened? Is that a happy mistake? I don't think so. It's an awful mistake. And if you're not following along here, I'm just creating texture. I'm not painting the waves, I'm creating texture. Okay? See, like the tide's already come up enough to where there was some sand and beach there isn't anymore. So the tide's already come up that much. Let's see if we can just put a little more. I don't want to over texturize it, you know, but I gotta let you, the viewer, know that there's like a lot of seas are angry. Chinese seas in here. Let's see if we can put in just a little more sap green in here. And the sap green. Just a little bit of blue. Just a fleck of red. Okay. And create this texture in here. Gotta be honest, this is the fun part of painting. Just the juicy, sculptural, putting color down, wild abandon. But thinking about it nonetheless. You gotta think about it, guys. Don't unthink it. You see, when you start getting to the point where you want to step back and you're just going in and out, taking a few steps, that's when you know you're kind of real close to finishing, if not finished. You know, so usually what I'll do is I'll take my eyes off for a good 10-15 minutes, you know, walk around, say hi to other artists if they're out here, you know, take a leak, get a drink, something, whatever. But anyway, but I really like this painting as it is right now. I think I'm about an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, so I don't know what happened to the audio. That's why you don't use a 15-year-old GoPro. But anyway, you know, the painting turned out real nice. I hope you like it. And that's pretty much just a beautiful day of painting.